Hi Cancer, what's going on? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Ten of Swords. I'm seeing Hermit on the bottom of the deck. This can be a time that you are thinking about, something that had happened that you're sort of looking over. You can be looking for answers as well. It can be about something that you feel like I need to look into this, or I need to understand this, and only then can I expect to be able to let this go. That's kind of what this feels like. So now that something has closed out, finding a way to adjust, finding a way to adapt, but can feel a bit stressful. It can feel like your hands are a bit full as well with this happening now. And you can feel a little bit distant from your feeling, because feeling can be saying one thing, and then what you need to do can be saying another thing, and you trying to make sense of that. So whatever this was that happened, you're looking into it so you can get a deeper understanding of it, a better understanding for it. This feels like right now you have a lot going on, and you're trying to figure out and make sense of really what is the most important stuff for you to be doing. It's like trying to figure out what your priorities are given everything that's going on currently. Then I'm also seeing Two of Swords, which can mean that based off of this, whatever this is that you think about, that you figure out, that you conclude, there's going to be a decision that needs to be made, and you want it to be aligned with how you're really feeling, like in the most purified way. But in order to do that, in order to get to that point, you can feel like you really need to make sense of this initial thing that you're looking into right now. I need context. I'm seeing Six of Wands and also the Hanged Man. Okay, so when we have Hanged Man, what can be going on is that we think that one thing is happening, or our perspective is one way, but then the perspective shifts. But we have Six of Wands, and then we have the Hanged Man. So this can be like thinking that something has been accomplished, but then the Hanged Man can tell a different story. Like maybe that's not actually it. This can be thinking that one sort of like came out first in the race, and then like something about that being different, and having Neptune be there, be connected with this, feels like I don't know, there's something else that's going on here. Definitely something else that's going on here. Maybe your idea of what success is something that's changing. Maybe your idea of, when we think about Six of Wands, it's connected with victory, success, accomplishment, can be recognition, coming out on the other side of something. Feeling like we have accomplished what needed to be accomplished just in general, And having that go through a shift, I wonder if it's like how you attribute meaning to what that actually is that may be changing. And it almost is feeling like an outcome or something. Hanged Man is being clarified by the Tower, which almost feels like something being flipped around abruptly. Something happening. It feels kind of chaotic the way that this is taking place, but things are going to be settling. It feels like stuff from the deep, or stuff that was undiscovered or hadn't been brought to light yet. There's stuff that's coming up, and there's going to be a point when everything has come up, but it feels like it's in the process of that happening now, like things bubbling to the surface. Eventually there will be no more left to bubble to the surface, but it does feel like that's in the process of happening. Moving forward then. What is this getting in the way? Yeah, the way that I'm seeing Six of Wands and the Hanged Man almost feels like thinking that something was a success, but then, and thinking like, okay, like now we can move forward, but then not. Or like thinking something has been accomplished. But the thing with the Six of Wands is that it's not just something being accomplished. It's like winning, or it's something where there's like a coming out on top. But then having the Hanged Man here would say like something else actually has happened. Like it's not just that, something else is going on. This, you know what, the best way for me to describe this is thinking that you passed the test and like or somebody did, and celebrating and cheering and all of that, but not seeing things clearly because the Hanged Man is here. So this is saying like not every, like you don't, something about this is not totally clear. And there can even be something surprising going on because it was connected with Mars, the Tower. Having Hanged Man be connected with the Tower can mean that suddenly you think things are one way and then suddenly it flips and it's actually a different way. And so I'm even seeing this, thinking like, yeah, like I aced that test, and but something about the Hanged Man being there feels like that may not totally be an accurate depiction of what's going on, and that may not totally be the truth of the whole situation of what's happening. But that maybe not being addressed yet, and then trying to move forward, but then something is sort of getting in the way of moving any further there. Okay, an ending, trying to make sense of this, feeling like something isn't adding up. It feels like something isn't being seen. Because there's even a feeling of something being all right internally. I even get this feeling of something being settled or something being good, but then like maybe the outward expression is different than what's actually taking place. The thing too is that when we have Six of Wands, it can be like the person that we see, coming back to like a classroom situation. Six of Wands can be a person that we see that's like at the head of the class. And then having Hanged Man there can be like needing to let go of that because that was just what happened, and trying to move forward. but then having to come face to face with what that was. And having the Seven of Swords here, I wonder what exactly that is that's taking place here, because Seven of Swords makes it seem like something is pulling us backwards a little bit here with this. It even feels like something... See how the Six of Swords is moving forward, but the Seven of Swords is coming this way? I almost feel like in moving forward, something is found out or something is caught here. And it's related to something back there that had happened. It's almost like, I wonder if the Seven of Swords did something that wasn't addressed, where Seven of Swords may have done something and maybe like come out on top, or maybe been like, yeah, like I got what I wanted in that situation. And then in like trying to move forward, this feels like seeing something, or potentially Seven of Swords trying to... And this can be your shadow, this can be some unconscious energy, this can be stuff that didn't come to light yet. I mean, the way visually this seems is like catching on to something. That's what this feels like. Seeing something that was going on that maybe wasn't seen before. I wonder too if this could be something that would keep you from moving forward. Something that would keep you from moving forward. And it feels like something regressive that would pull you backwards when you're trying to move forward. Let's see what the Seven of Swords is. I feel like maybe this was some type of shadow thing that was understood, but now for some reason it's like forgetting that. It's being clarified by Six of Swords, which I would see Six of Swords as like allowing yourself to move on. But Seven of Swords may be like a part of you that doesn't want you to move on and is trying to take you back in some way. Somewhere where I think you've moved on from at this point. So making sense of something, figuring out what your priorities are. Needing to see something related to feelings. Now, having Seven of Swords be connected with feelings, this can be from a like distorted perspective, thinking that your intuition is telling you something or that feelings are saying something, and then like it feels like a misinterpretation. It feels like these thoughts and these feelings that are coming up that are disguising themselves as your higher self telling you stuff, and it's actually coming from somewhere else, and it feels like it's coming from a more unconscious place it would be something that would regress you. That's what I'm seeing this be connected with. And it feels too like something came to an end and that was actually a win for you, even though I'm wondering if right now you're not seeing it like that. So whatever this was that had happened, having Six of Wands below it, this actually feels like it was good that it came to an end. That's good for you, and it feels like it was good for you and maybe also your intuition, like you listening to your feelings and whatnot. And I think too, trying to make sense when Neptune is there, because Neptune can be the thing that sort of clouds our judgment at times, and you have to find a way to find the truth when the truth can feel like, well, when other things can sort of distort the truth a bit. You can be really trying to see something like a clear and accurate depiction when Neptune is at play, which can kind of cloud that from happening. And this feels like it comes back to a decision that needs to be made to move on, to move forward, to keep going with your journey, or regress back. And that choice hasn't been made. It's like still in that standstill. Like, do I go back or do I move forward with my journey? And it feels very much like you're meant to let go, like you're meant to continue, you're meant to move forward. And it feels like listening to your intuition is saying, like, this is the way to go. But then having the Seven of Swords there feels like something that would be pulling you back instead and working with that part of your energy. Like if you just went through something, or a time ago you went through something and it was actually great for you to not be caught up in that cycle anymore, and so you can move forward. It feels like whatever this is that's going on with the Seven of Swords would kind of bring you back into that exact situation that it feels kind of like you've graduated from a bit. And that there's something going on when it comes to what your intuition is actually saying versus what you may be misinterpreting as being your intuition, and needing to see the difference between what is the pure message of what your intuition is telling you versus what feelings may be telling you, but it's not coming from a place that is the purified intuition. And especially having Neptune here, there can be stuff about self-deception, there can be stuff about miscommunication, misinterpretations, distortions, not seeing the truth, not having all of the information, things of that nature. Stuff that would like block you from seeing the big picture and then potentially do something based off of that. And then you get back in the situation and you're like, oh, I wasn't seeing clearly when I made that choice. So this feels like actually getting to the bottom of knowing the difference, like figuring out the difference between what is the pure essence of your intuition telling you versus what else may you be feeling, but it's not coming from your intuition, it's coming from a different place, but it may almost disguise itself as your intuition until you get to the point where you're able to discern the difference between the two. And I do feel like this is something that would bring you back into a situation that you wouldn't want to repeat again. It looks like that's where it would take you. It will take you back into something that it already seems like you had quite an eventful experience there that I don't think you would want to experience again. So check in on that. Like, is your intuition telling you to go back into something that you had an eventful experience you wouldn't want to repeat again? And you're going to know it's coming from a shadow place. But I do feel like you're going to properly discern this. Having Six of Wands be connected with Page of Cups, I do feel like you're going to see what's happening here, and that this isn't going to be something that you feel like you sort of fall into the trap of. Fantasy can be part of this too, thinking like, I'm going to go back into that situation that I didn't like that situation, and I didn't like what was going on in that situation, but I'm telling myself that if I go back into it, it's somehow going to be different. This can also be about giving yourself permission to move on, giving yourself permission to move forward. I also feel too like right now you may not be seeing the success of you not being in that situation anymore. And also too, this feels like it as well is about checking in and connecting with what your true priorities are. Because this may be telling you to prioritize something, but it's not your intuition telling you that this is something to prioritize. It's another part of you. And it may be a part of you that you actually do not want to be taking the advice of. Because it's going to get you into something that I don't think you want to experience again. Let me say this as well. If you feel like you're in an in-between and there's a choice that you have not made yet and you're like, I don't know, is it this way or is it that way? Don't rush to make the choice. Like for many of you, I imagine like, well, I don't want to reduce it actually and say that. For some of you, a relationship can be involved in this, but it can be some other stuff too. Having Temperance on the bottom of the deck, do not rush to make a choice unless you feel confident about it. Because having Neptune there, I imagine there's a transit that's going on that could really distort things. And have you thinking that something is one way, you go into it, and then it's going to be a different experience. And then you'll look back and be like, I should have known better, or I shouldn't have rushed into doing that, or I wasn't seeing things clearly, or I wanted it to be like this, but it wasn't really, and I just convinced myself of that. It's going to be themes like that. I'd give this some time, but you can do whatever you want. It feels like this is just to not have to experience something that you don't want to experience. That is the encouragement to really get to the bottom of what is guiding you here with this choice. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.